see the slaves. Everything is sweet as long as you don't see the slaves, as long as you don't see the slaves, as long as you don't see the slaves. Everything is sweet.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Damen Scranton. I'm coming to you from Pasadena, California. I was involved in Color Between the Lines as the character of James Pennington. I was kind of the narrator.
There are those who still think of us merely as beasts of burden, Mr. Tappan. Unfortunately, the rest of the country does not think like Brooklyn.
Color Between the Lines was a show created by the Irondale Ensemble Project in partnership with the Weeksville Heritage Center and the Brooklyn Historical Society.
You know what? Let's open up our history books. Yes.
We were given a phone book size volume, and in it were little sketches and little snippets of the people who were doing extraordinary things during the abolitionist movement, but you'd never heard of them.
And our job was to process this material, take it in, read it, understand it, and turn it into approximately 90-minute musical piece.
The result was Color Between the Lines by Irondale Ensemble Project, who took a lot of the research that we had done, but more importantly, engaged with the primary sources, the archival material, right? The maps, the letters, the census records, the scraps of archives that we sometimes have, like a name in a newspaper, and to really turn it into something that was crucial and relevant, not just to the past, but to people today.
1847, Henry Ward Beecher arrives at Plymouth Church in Brooklyn. Long hair flowing wild. Clothes.
And we said, okay, well, everybody pick out one episode that you like, one person that you like. And as a group, we are going to, with you leading us, since it's your story, your song, we're going to compose a series of songs about important moments and important people in the history of abolitionism in Brooklyn.
The archival material was amazing. This is the point of all of this. You can make theater out of anything.
Art has the ability to question the past, the way in which the past has been told, the narratives we remember about the past, and the people, both of who we remember and who we forgot.
We took source material given to us and we put that on our feet to discover the stories that really resonated with us as an ensemble.
Everybody gather round, come and listen to the sounds of the story. Once upon a time there was a man, and he lived in Williamsburg. His name was James Hamlet. I said his name was James Hamlet, and he was a Brooklyn resident.
Yeah, so we relied on the archival material as sort of our Bible. That was our fact checker. Did this really happen? How did it happen?
The draft riots were a particular event that happened here in Brooklyn. And we got that from the research material. And we talked about the events. We broke down specifically what happened chronologically in the events.
And to some extent, as I watched it, as we moved from what we might think of as a regular theater performance to this series of songs, it reminded me of like a rock concert or a rap concert. And so that was a big part of what informed the set and lighting design that I did for this show.
Here's a tip. Find something that resonates with you. Who would your hero be? Who, when you read about what they've done, inspires you? If you connect with what the person has done and how they shaped history, it will clearly come across to your audience.
What you need to do to find your own project is just be excited about something.
So I would say make it fun for yourself, number one. What are you inspired by? Whatever primary source you're using, what inspires you? What makes you ask questions? Who, what, where, when, why, how?
It is so easy to get hold of primary sources and archival documents. Don't be put off thinking it is only the domain of historians and scholars, professors, archivists, librarians. Anybody can get their hands on a document or something from the past. Think about what the document is telling you in terms of facts. Who wrote it? When did they write it? Where was it written? Or visuals, where did it take place? But also think about what those documents are not telling you. Think about the questions you want to ask of things that you don't see. And when you don't see them, use that creative part of yourself to think about what is missing and what part of that story, if the person was still alive today, would they want to tell about themselves?
I find that, when you're working with historical material, that the best way to approach a design is to look at images that relate specifically to that idea, and then choose an image or find an image that speaks to you, that really excites you. In Color Between the Lines, it was the slave's alphabet, where each letter stood for some aspect of an enslaved person's experience, and that became a major feature of the design itself. And it also created the sense of what the big picture of the historical event was. So yeah.
Find a subject or find some material that's really important to you. It could be somebody's speech, it could be a book you've read, it could be a newspaper article or a magazine article that really excited you. It could be something you heard on the radio. It could be lyrics from a song. And just start thinking about that. Think about why it's important to you. Think about what you like about it. And then how would that translate to performance?
One of the exciting things about it is you see yourself and where you are now through history and through these historic characters and these people that you find out aren't that much different from you or from the people that you know.
I'm married with a daughter and taking care of my niece, Mary Marshall. But that's not all I do. That's all she does. I own a crockery and a clothing store. I am a businesswoman. I am a fundraiser. Child, I work on the major fundraiser, Colored Orphan Asylum.
Oh, hold up! The Colored Orphan Asylum? You never told me that you work with the Colored Orphan Asylum.
I sure do, and I have a ball.
Yes, girl. Don't you know my good friend Elizabeth Gloucester works with the Colored Orphan Asylum?
Liz Gloucester. Me and Elizabeth is like this.
You and Liz, girl, we
Yes.
is too. Hey, we gotta be best friends now.
Now, you know we best friends.
Well,
Now, as I was about to say,
I'm sorry about that.
don't you worry a thing. The Colored Orphan Asylum is all the way in Manhattan. And I live in Brooklyn. I live in Fort Greene, honey. There is no Brooklyn Bridge yet. I'm tired.
Well,
But it just goes to show you, we've got our hands all over the place. We're like the Justice League. 5, 6, 7, 8. Wherever we need it.